And then, of course, we did come to the only Extreme Rules match of the night, which was for the Universal Heavyweight Championship, and that was the main event between the champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, who up until that night had been 391 days as champ, against that alter ego, the Demon Finn Balor, in a no-holds-barred match. Interesting match. I'm really keen to see what your thoughts were on it. I actually marked it fairly high. I won't say what just yet. I marked it high for a number of reasons, but what do you boys, how did you view it?
You go first, Anthony.
Well, there's a certain part that both Manson and I looked at each other and went part of my language here, but what the fuck? Which was a demon resurrection spot. Like,
towards the end when he started looking like he was either humping the floor or having a convulsion.
Yeah, like even I watched that prior, and I was with my sister. We were watching. We just looked at each other. We're like, "What is this?"
Yeah. Well, that was obviously towards the end when when it went all red and you couldn't really see a great deal, all the red lights, and the demon was resurrected. But I hate those matches when they do that red misty light and that smoky, and you can't really see anything. I think they did it with Kane a couple of times, but and that whole top rope snapping,
I like that.
That was, but you saw it and you heard it.
If you listen to it a few times, you run it backwards and forwards, you actually hear a solenoid go off with a "let's go with the rope" for the opposite turnbuckle. You hear a click. You hear a click of a solenoid. That was set up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
I figured it was.
But what I liked about it, it was unique.
Yes.
And it wasn't the end of the three-way. It was all just bagging out the last couple of matches.
Yeah.
It was something you would not have expected.
No. So he falls. The turnbuckle and the rope snap. He falls, hurts his knee, gets spared. Roman Reigns retains.
He doesn't win clean. Roman Reigns. The Demon doesn't lose clean, right? If you really want to put it down, it's not clean.
No.
But Reigns technically hasn't touched anything.
No, and also you can hear Reigns saying to Heyman in the ring. And if you read the lips, it was very, very clear. He's looking up at Heyman. He's going, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
So he really sold the whole.
That's right.
Yeah. So that part was really, really good. I like that. I don't know about this convulsing thing or the rest.
Once again, it's WWE Mickey Mouse stuff. I mean, it's like.
I don't know. Did he need that? I mean, is that his way of making a comeback? Because that's all it was. Really, it was a comeback.
Well, I don't think it. No, definitely doesn't need it. No. It's like I said, it's Mickey Mouse WWE. That's what it is.
But it was a good match.
Match was good. Match was solid. Yeah, match was solid.
It was a very solid match with the kendo sticks. I like the one that when Balor brought out the four of them all taped up.
Yeah.
Against the one. Again, just something a wee bit different that you don't necessarily see each time. Although they seem to be using kendo sticks a hell of a lot now. They're starting to be a wee bit over.
They're a really, really safe weapon, that's why.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, once you take the rings off them, they're very, very safe. So if you can whack into someone as hard as you want, and it's a bit of a sting, but it's not that bad, because it's the rings on the kendo stick that make them hard.
Mm.
Once you pop the rings off, they become, they're just pliable. They just make a lot of noise. So
the thing I thought was really interesting was when they were fighting outside and went into the crowd, that Roman Reigns got a mask from Heyman and put that black mask on.
But did you see the way he did it? Where he just reached out his hand, not even looking at Heyman.
Yeah.
Heyman is so good. And he just reaches the mask hand. It doesn't even look at Heyman. It's like I'm the king. You know what I want, and he pulls it out and unfolds it, puts it in his hand for him. It's genius. It's genius. That's why Roman Reigns is the best guy at the moment on the planet. Because it's
which
the little
also
things like that.
reinforces, sorry, Mick, which also reinforces by him doing that, that actually that whole leukemia thing was real. Because
I've still got my
no, because I'll tell you why I thought that. Because a friend of ours that we were talking about before the show started, with his health problems, the biggest thing, because he's all started because he's got leukemia but was in remission and that. The biggest thing they tell them all, and he's had to do this for the last 30 years that I've known him, you've got to be super, super careful of any sort of infection.
You're rolling around with another guy in the ring with staph infections.
Now, I understand that, but obviously they're all tested and they're cleaning the ring. And
everyone's got staph. No matter if you roll on mats, you got a whole heap of other guys sweating and rolling around on the mat before you even go out there.
But to go into a crowd where you know there'll be COVID because they're all maskless and.
But you're talking about infection. You're going to catch more infection from the mat than what you're going to catch that way.
Maybe.
Look, you ever got a bad staph infection from a wrestling ring? It's friggin' terrible, right? It is a terrible thing, and you can get it really, really easy. Just like that's why George's we make them spray down the mats and wipe them.
Okay.
Right, and that's why I use that shiny vinyl one at the Hitman school. Everyone whinges about because it doesn't embed into the pores of the mat. You can't get out. No, look, I'm not 100% sure on the whole leukemia thing, but what I did like was the way he demanded Paul Heyman to do it. And I'm not going to breathe the same oxygen as these normal people that are in the audience. That's a symbol I got. That's a great heel symbol. That's like, I'm not going to breathe your oxygen.
Yeah, okay.
I like that principle. That's what I got from it when he did it. I really got that idea that I'm too good to breathe the same oxygen as you. You people stink, and you offend me, so I'm going to wear a mask. I love it. That's great heel. That's and
that was good. It was good.
That's vintage heel. And like I said, with Heyman, Heyman's like the diamond in the goat's ass. He really is. It's just the actual piece de resistance of that whole gimmick at the moment. It really is.
I still think he's going to turn on Roman and go with Brock.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I really do. I don't think they'll start it at in the United Arab Emirates, although they are wrestling each other there, so it'll be interesting. I think he'll sort of be half and half a bit there, and they'll wait till they get back to the mainland. And because the next pay-per-view, what's the next one?
I'm not sure. What is the next one?
Survivor Series, wasn't it?
Survivor Series. Is that November? Yeah, it's November. It's November Survivor Series. No, there'll be one in between.
Yeah, there's October.
I think it's a Saudi show. And then...
you might.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it's going to be Reigns and Lesnar at the next American-held pay-per-view. But I'm going to be interested just to watch the whole Heyman thing, but that's a side issue at the moment. But
is it going to be a swerve, a double swerve, or a triple swerve? We don't know.
Yeah.
But this excites me about it because nothing worse. And you at the end of the day, no matter what we've done in the pro wrestling business, being promoters, being announcers, wrestlers, whatever, we're fans at heart. That's how we got into the business right now.
Yeah, of course we are.
And I hate sitting there and looking at it and thinking, this is so obvious what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And nothing pisses me off more when I can call spots before it happens in a match, right?
I do, yeah.
Right. That's what I liked about this main event. I couldn't have called that rope was going to break. That was great. That was good. That tricked me. That's what I want. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's nothing new in wrestling anymore because everything's been done.
Yeah.
But there are things like that can be quite subtle, and you think, oh, wow. Yeah.
It's like the face master getting in the crowd. I love that. I love that. I'm superior than these people.
You know, I say that to... Sorry, even that night when they did that thing with the Big Show and the big suplex and the ring collapsed.
Yeah, that's right.
You need... Yeah, you know, those really unexpected things.
That's right. I think that I always say to all the wrestlers, even you're a face or a heel, when you're training them at George's, is that you should always be more superior. You are the star. So when you go out to the ring, you are the star. And whether you're a face or a heel, right? You're a heel, you're obnoxious, you're a face. You may be, generous with your time with the fans, but you're still a star. You're not one of the boys in the audience.
No.
You're working on the platform of the gods. You're working in the ring of the gods. So you should act like a god.
Yes.
Right? So that's what I like about Roman Reigns. He portrays that shit constantly now.
Yeah.
I am at a level above all of you turds out in the audience. and I love it. I reckon I can't say nothing wrong about it. I mean, people may pick apart the way he works, the predictable Superman punch, whatever else. But for me, he's getting over.
Oh, absolutely he is.
Yeah.
He's he's resurrected SmackDown and partially WWE with this whole character with him and Heyman and the cousins.
The bloodline. Yeah.
But they're right in what they said. That bloodline actually has a 50-year history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from High Chief Peter Maivia all the way down.
That's right. And also to the spin-offs with Snooker went through them at one point.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think Maivia, I think it was King Curtis, wasn't it, in Maivia at one point? They were both Curtis?
Yeah, well,
was it Curtis that got Maivia
into WWE?
Or into wrestling in general?
Oh. Well, I don't know.
Because Curtis was Hawaiian.
Yeah, but Maivia
is Samoan. Yeah. But I think that there was a link there. I can't remember who got who in, but that goes back a long way. That
started in New Zealand, Maivia.
He started in New Zealand, did he?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, so he was a Kiwi Samoan. Samoan and went to New Zealand.
From what I can recall, I'll need to check it.
You just want to check.
Yeah,
I think I did read somewhere.
He had a very, very strong connection in New Zealand, and with the young New Zealand Samoan wrestlers like Siva Afi Teagaga, as he was called over there, and Samoa Joe and Lou Liotta, and all of them. Now, was he over there in New Zealand when Curtis was in New Zealand? I don't recall, but I go back to about the mid-70s on the New Zealand scene, and Maivia was well and truly in Madison Square Garden against superstar Billy Graham and all them at that time.
Yeah.
So he'd sort of made it by then. But
maybe it's the other way around.
Prior to that, look, you might be right. But I know he was very, because when they brought him over, Steve Rickard, the promoter in New Zealand, they were really, really big on his background in New Zealand and all that at the time. So, but I will check, and it's a good one to check.
Need to try and get some more of this information because it's good to know where things come from like those kind of places. There's actually a couple of good books that I want to read. There's the History of the Territories, which I think you can buy it through Jim Cornette. I'll have to find out, but that's a good one. There's a few of them that I want to start reading a bit more about. But getting back onto the match, because we've got absolutely sidetracked there.
Yep.
Yeah. Good match. I gave it a 7.5. Demon Resurrection was a bit skittish.
Yeah.
Reigns is the best worker in the company at this point.
Yes.
At this point.
Heyman is the timing best. And his whole, so it's not just the actual.
Oh, it's a bit like Flair.
Package. Yeah.
The package. It's the package. It should be like Flair. Knows when to do it, why to do it, and how to do it.
Yeah, understands it.
Yeah. And then you've got the best hype man in Paul Heyman.
And of course, don't forget that they're still angling to bring The Rock in to go.
Yeah. Who is the true chieftain of the tribe or whatever they want to call it?
Yeah, that'll come down to that. That'll be.
And that's an interesting one that they go.
Obviously.
I hope so. I hope they don't put him over.
He's not going to come in, do that, win the match, and then take off again.
Yeah,
it kills everything.
Yeah, it'd be that's right. So hopefully they do the right thing by that. But hopefully they got to start looking more inside themselves for that next talent to go against Reigns.
Or maybe I'm just thinking as we speak here, Heyman does the turn on Reigns and sides with Brock Lesnar, and then all of a sudden the Rock's music breaks. He comes out to save Reigns, and it looks like he's with him. And then they start to build something from their talking about being the tribal chief, or Reigns asks The Rock to acknowledge him, or something to set them two going. And there's a few ways that could go, actually.
Oh, it is. There is a few ways.
I think that part's... But that's about the only thing that's exciting at the WWE.
It is. It is. That's about the only thing.
You can get a wee bit keyed up about, think, well, it could go this way, it could go that way. You know, like there's really nothing else. I mean, we don't even know what's going to happen with Big E. You know,
there's nothing at Raw. There's nothing going on at Raw. So, which
is interesting because that's the flagship show.
Well, it's not now.
No, I know.
No, yeah. But
I gave it 8 out of 10 that match. I thought it was great.
What did you give it, Anthony?
I gave it a 6 because I took 2 points off for the run-in with the Usos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fair enough. I thought this was going to be a predictable finish when the Usos ran in, and then he come back to life after that, didn't he? After the Usos got him.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, and then I thought, how's this going to finish? And the rope broke, so it kept me guessing, which I liked that.
Yeah, that was good. So, look, I think all in all, while it wasn't necessarily extreme in the old sense of the word, or what maybe some of us were expecting, I think overall the pay-per-view was pretty good. It certainly
it was solid.
It was solid. It was a step up. You know, they just need to keep climbing now because they do have some genuine competition. And it really is. It's down to, you know, hey, we're gonna put our best foot forward.
I think what they need to do down there is create some stars.
Well, I think that's the whole idea behind the new NXT. Yeah. You know, that Steiner's boy and some of those other kids they're bringing in, and that other the big black guy who's about 400 odd pounds or something.
Something Jones. Odyssey Jones.
Yeah. Oh, actually, he seems pretty athletic and pretty good.
One of these freaks.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be really good. They've got a couple of good stars like Pete Dunne and LA Knight. And I'm actually quite, as a matter of fact, once this once this podcast finishes, I'm going to make a coffee and watch NXT that was on our TV yesterday.
I might watch that as well, actually, once we get off this.
See what's happened. And but I think they're going down the right track, actually. I've enjoyed the first couple of shows, and we spoke about it at length in our last show here,